Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. Jason Dedeker, here we are. It's another week in Drunk Bible Study land. How are you all doing today? Dedeker, why don't you go first?
Oh, I guess I'm pretty good. It's been a rough lockdown situation down here in Australia. I do appreciate that Nick in the chat is here, standing in solidarity, also in Australia. This Bible study is getting me through.
Indeed.
It's one of the few things getting me through.
Yeah.
That and like overly elaborate cooking projects is what's been the real fuel in my gas tank these days.
That sounds great. Love it. Oh my goodness. How about you, Jace? You good?
Oh boy, yes. I'm good. I'm transitioning jobs, and tomorrow is my last day at my current job. So it's been a hectic time, but also finding solace in the Bible here at Bible Study today.
Yes, my voice teacher actually earlier was talking about some biblical stuff, but it was New Testament stuff.
Oh, dang.
And I was like, I haven't gotten there yet, so I don't know anything that you're talking about. But it happened, it was the resurrection and like who saw the resurrection and then what was said when that happened.
My.
Something along those lines. And I don't know if she's right or not. She's like, I haven't actually read it, so...
That is some spoilers, though.
I do love the idea that anytime someone mentions anything about Jesus, if you, Emily, could just be like, spoilers, please stop.
I don't know how it ends. Don't tell me.
I do know how it...
Do you?
Well, I guess I don't, because I don't know what Revelation said. I don't know what the last word in the Bible is.
I bet you don't even know the full Jesus story. I bet there's a lot that you don't know that you don't know that you don't know.
What's the full Jesus story?
Spoilers.
Yeah, how does the Jesus story end?
Spoilers.
I don't know. He gets out of a cave and is like, rocket ship, and then goes into the sky. That's what I thought.
Okay, not fully wrong. I'm not going to say completely wrong.
Yeah, see, I do know. It's kind of. Anyway.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so last week there was not a prophecy, but a proclamation rather, that there are no more Hebrew slaves. That's it. Like, slaves can't take, or people of the Hebrews cannot take other Hebrew slaves, right?
Correct.
Other
Right.
Hebrews as slaves.
Right.
Okay.
And if they have any Hebrew slaves, they gotta let them go.
Yeah, exactly.
And they did it, and then like immediately after, we're like, actually, we'd like them back. And
Yes.
Yahweh was super pissed about it.
Of course, yeah, because everyone just loves to like do the opposite of what Yahweh wants.
Yes.
I get it. I understand why it makes him angry. He doesn't need to like kill everyone, but here we are. And then what else happened? This isn't helpful. This bonus episode stuff isn't helpful.
Well,
Do you recall?
the Rechabites, they were used as yet another object lesson because the fact that they listened to their father's father, who said, "Don't drink any wine, no grape products," and Baruch, our nice little scribe, played by Tom Holland, was kind of salty. He was like, the words came out of his mouth and I wrote them down with ink. That's how I did it.
Yeah. Loved it. He was good.
Right. And we're finally getting some like character development of Baruch, which is pretty great.
I know. I wonder how much he's going to show up like in the Bible after this, or if that was kind of his one big scene. Like we needed Tom Holland for a week, and then we're like, okay, you on your way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Baruch's going to be a recurring character, but who knows?
Yeah. How much longer is this book?
A lot.
Because
longer.
we're at
That's the answer.
a lot longer. Okay.
What?
Okay.
A lot?
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, here, let's do a quick how many chapters in Jeremiah? 52. We're on 37. So, I mean, not a ton
we're over
more.
the
Getting
hump.
there. We're moving.
We are over the
We're
hump.
moving and
Good chunk.
shaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. We can do
We're
it.
moving and shaking.
We can do it. I believe in us.
Yes.
We're going to do it. We're definitely going to do it.
Mhm.
I just wanted to give you my weekly update on what The Rock has been up to.
Oh, please do.
Literally, my newsfeed now is every single day is some story about The Rock. Usually shit that I don't care about.
That's the dream.
Usually shit I don't care about.
I think that's The Rock's dream also.
The Rock's dream, yes.
He wants you to know everything about him.
The hot
Amazing.
thing right now is that a few days ago, this thing started blowing up on Twitter of this photo of a police officer somewhere who looks exactly like The Rock. Like people thought it was The Rock, and it's actually some random police officer somewhere in the US. I forget where.
Oh.
And then today, the headline was like pictures of The Rock with this police officer. Now he like met him after this blew up online and like took a picture together, and you know he's basically
they're long lost brothers.
Yeah, exactly. They're long lost twinsies somehow.
This is
amazing.
I did Google police officer The Rock, and it is spooky.
Yeah, it
how
is
much
uncanny.
they look like each other.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's amazing. Wow.
But it's pretty
good.
great. And The Rock, of course, has been super sweet and fun about it, and is, took a picture and is like, this guy's the real hero, and has just been a real cool guy about it. So
he seems like a nice man. That's
or the real rock star, or I forget what the term was that he used, but it's been real fun. Yeah.
Cute. Amazing. Well, let's get to the important part, which is what are we drinking?
Oh, wow. Well, I made myself an oolong hai, which is popular in Japan. It's pretty simple. It's just some oolong tea and whiskey.
Oh, there you go.
And ice. And
Is it good?
Oh, yeah.
Do you put like sweetener?
No, I guess you could, but I
Okay.
kind of like it without the sweetener. So it's still got a little bit of that, that bite from the whiskey, but it's still refreshing, maybe perhaps mildly hydrating because it's mostly just tea. But
There you go. That's lovely.
Yeah. And I'm drinking just my Tricera Hops IPA again. But what's not important is what I'm drinking, but what I'm drinking it out of.
That's very small.
Which, Dedeker, maybe you could tell a little more about this tiny, tiny glass that I'm drinking out of today.
It's very teeny.
my sister's been holding on to some glassware of my grandmother's that I inherited but had no home to put it in. And now that there's a place to put it in, she sent it to Jace. And Jace is like, these are the tiniest glasses I've seen in my life. And I'm like, no. Like they're drinking, they're water glasses. Like it's fine. And then I realized like, I think the last memory I have of these glasses was when I was quite small. And so the glasses seemed quite normal sized to me. But now that you hold it up next to your face, I can see
it's so teeny.
They're very teeny tiny.
Amazing.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
like I could fit this whole glass in my hand, like wrapping my fingers around it completely.
They're for little babies.
Brady in the
That's
chat
adorable.
asked if my grandmother was a hummingbird, and she wasn't. She was a very small lady, though. Now that you mention it, she was very petite.
So maybe it fits.
It fit.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
And what about you, Emily? What do you got going on?
Yeah, I have a gimlet, which is one of my favorite drinks, but I muddled cucumber and mint into it. So it's just cucumber and mint muddled with agave, and then also gin and lime, fresh lime juice.
Lovely.
So
Yeah.
it's quite excellent. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite drinks of all time.
Nice.
I like it very much.
Yeah.
Very aromatic. Yeah. Alrighty, what are we doing today?
All right, you ready to do this?
Yeah.
Ready for this? All right, we're going to be continuing on with Jeremiah. We have 3 chapters today, 37, 38, and 39. And then we're going to be doing 2 Psalms, 51 and 52. We're going to continue on, see if Baruch makes any more appearances today. All right, if you want to read along with us, you can go to drunkbiblestudy.com/read and type in Jeremiah 37-39. As we get started, we want to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time. And with that, we're at Jeremiah 37. Zedekiah, the son of Josiah, reigned as king, instead of Coniah, the son of Jehoiakim, who Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, made king in the land of Judah. So this other guy is king, not the king that was supposed to be the king.
Right.
But this does imply that Nebuchadnezzar tried to make somebody else king?
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm reading in the Message, and I think maybe the World English Bible is just really confusing us with its wording, but it is this person, King Zedekiah, was the king put on the throne by Nebuchadnezzar.
Okay.
In the place
of Coniah?
Was now king in the place of Jehoiakim.
Oh.
Or Jehoiachin, son of Jehoiakim. I think the web just really spun a confusing web for us of language.
Indeed. But neither he nor his servants nor the people of the land did listen to the words of Yahweh, which he spoke by the prophet Jeremiah.
Classic.
Of course not.
Yep.
Zedekiah the king sent Jehu call.
Who call?
Jehu call.
Jehu call? Jehu call.
Yeah?
Jehu call. Okay.
The son of Shelemiah and Zephaniah, the son of Maaseiah, the priest, to the prophet Jeremiah, saying, "Pray now to Yahweh our God for us." Now, Jeremiah...
One sec.
Yes?
I just glanced over at the Message. The thing they say to him is they go to Jeremiah the prophet saying, "Pray for us. Pray hard."
Oh, no.
Really
hard. So hard.
Really
Desperately hard.
Yeah.
It's going really rough right now. Now, Jeremiah came in and went out among the people, for they had not put him into prison. They hadn't? Oh, these guys didn't.
Maybe this is a flashback to before? Yeah, I think this is a flashback. I think this is like we're reminding you of what happened before he was put in prison.
Okay.
Oh, good. His prison-free days. Those heady days.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Pharaoh's army was come forth out of Egypt, and when the Chaldeans who were besieging Jerusalem heard news of them, they broke up from Jerusalem. They broke up with Jerusalem. I don't know. No, they didn't. Just up from. Then came the word of Yahweh to the prophet Jeremiah, saying, "Thus says Yahweh, the God of Israel, thus shall you tell the king of Judah, who sent you to me to inquire of me, behold, Pharaoh's army, which has come forth to help you, shall return to Egypt into their own land. The Chaldeans shall come again and fight against this city, and they shall take it and burn it with fire."
Goodness.
Oh, God. Awkward.
Okay, so he's just saying like the Egyptians are going to come, but they're going to peace out again. They're going to say like, actually, never mind. We're not going to help you out after all.
I guess so. Yeah. And burn it with fire?
No, then the Babylonians will burn it with fire.
Got it. Cool. Neat. Thus says Yahweh, don't deceive yourselves, saying, the Chaldeans shall surely depart from us, for they shall not depart. For though you had struck the whole army of the Chaldeans who fight against you, and there remained but wounded men among them, yes, would they rise up, every man in his tent, and burn this city with fire. They're really excited about burning this city down.
Gosh, they seriously are.
Is he saying
like
all these wounded people would rise up and burn your city to the ground, even if you wounded them? This is weird.
I don't know. It happened that when the army of the Chaldeans was broken up from Jerusalem for fear of Pharaoh's army, then Jeremiah went forth out of Jerusalem to go into the land of Benjamin and to receive his portion there in the midst of the people. What's his portion?
Like his portion of land? Usually when we've talked about portions in this book, it's been about land and holdings.
Oh, I didn't know that he had land. I thought he just roamed the streets and asked for food from nice people.
Well, no, remember he bought,
I don't know.
He bought land.
He had
right?
a complicated real estate transaction a few chapters ago.
Did he?
Yes.
A few chapters ago?
Yes, just a few.
Yeah.
A few episodes ago.
2 episodes ago, I think. He bought land while he was in prison, and it's like all the prison guards witnessed him signing that, and he said, "Right, this is a sign that real estate market's going to go up eventually." Or something like that.
Buy now, and oh man, your return on investment, let me tell you, once Yahweh's restored us back to our land, it's going to be,
I'll take your word for it.
Rich.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that he thought, you know what? I'm getting out of here someday. I'm getting out.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. So is this in the past or is this current?
This is in the past still, I think. Yeah, because he's walking around. It's got to be in the past because he's in prison right now.
Okay. He's still in prison. Okay. When he was in the gate of Benjamin, a captain of the guard was there, whose name was Ira.
Ira Glass?
Well, wait, no, I didn't say that right. Crap, will you help me, please?
Irijah?
Irijah? That's very different from Ira, Emily.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see the J initially, or I thought it was silent.
I see. Irijah.
Iriah, the son of Shelemiah, the son of Hananiah, and he laid hold on Jeremiah the prophet, saying, "You are falling away from the Chaldeans." Is that what he means, like by laid hold? Like grabbed him?
Yeah, I grabbed him.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
the message is clarifying, means like he thinks he's deserting. Like he's trying to run away.
Okay. Then said Jeremiah, "It is false. I am not falling away to the Chaldeans." But he didn't listen to him, so Irijah laid hold on Jeremiah and brought him to the princes. Hey, is Ira Glass an actor? Could we put him in this?
He's not an actor. We can cast him anyway.
You could probably make a little cameo. I mean, it's probably a small part, but it makes sense to have him
really small.
come in. We'll have to give him some lines if he didn't have some before.
We got to use that beautiful voice.
Yeah, exactly.
The princes were angry with Jeremiah and struck him and put him in the prison in the house of Jonathan the scribe. Jonathan the scribe.
So is this the first time that so are we now back to the present where he's in prison?
I don't know.
I think, we've done a flashback to show how he actually got arrested, maybe.
Good.
Maybe.
Oh. For they had made that the prison. The house of Jonathan the scribe is the prison, I guess. When Jeremiah was come into the dungeon house and into the cells.
So it's cool that Jonathan, the scribe, just happened to have a dungeon in his house. And so they're like, why don't we use your house as prison?
This is perfect.
Well, usual. And when Jeremiah was come into the dungeon house and into the cells, and Jeremiah had remained there many days, then Zedekiah the king sent and fetched him. And the king asked him secretly in his house and said, "Is there any word from Yahweh?"
So the king is on his side?
Oh, yikes. He's like, let me out of here and I'll tell you. Jeremiah said, "There is." He said also, "You shall be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon."
Awkward. Yeah.
Moreover, Jeremiah said to the king Zedekiah, "Wherein I have sinned against you or against your servants or against this people that you have put me in prison? Where now are your prophets who prophesied to you, saying, the king of Babylon shall not come against you, nor against this land? Now please hear, my lord the king. Please let my supplication be presented before you, that you not cause me to return to the house of Jonathan the scribe, lest I die there." Then Zedekiah the king commanded, and they committed Jeremiah into the court of the guard, and they gave him a daily loaf of bread. What?
This is how he ends up in the court of the guard. So he just complained about being at Jonathan's house, and they're like, "Okay,
cool." And the king's like, "All right, sure, take you to the other jail."
Okay, and they gave him a daily loaf of bread out of the baker's street until all the bread in the city was spent. They gave him all the bread in the city, period, and it was gone then.
Okay, now this is a real turn of events. They just
seriously.
Jeez. Thus Jeremiah remained in the court of the guard.
Wow, okay.
That's it for that chapter. Wow, okay, that was kind of nuts.
Okay, so this was our flashback episode that explains how we
flashback chapter.
How we came to be in the court of the guard surrounded by bread.
Huh.
And now we know.
Stacks and stacks of bread.
Bread for all time.
For some reason, we're giving this guy all the bread in the city, literally every single loaf, until we have no more.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, that was it. So who's next?
Oh, it's me.
Cool.
It's me.
Oh, also,
chapter 38. Yes.
Also, I thought this was kind of fun. The chapter heading for that last one in the message was called "In an Underground Dungeon." And then the title for this one is "From the Dungeon to the Palace."
Oh, okay.
Cool.
So is this a very elaborate plot to get closer and closer to the king, even though the king did come already and visit him directly in the dungeon, but he's trying
Are we trying to make a callback to Joseph, maybe? Being in prison and then becoming an assistant to Pharaoh? I don't know if we are, but
climbing up that corporate ladder.
Right.
That's very fun.
From prison, yeah.
Okay.
It's impressive.
All right.
Heck yes. Alrighty.
Chapter 38. Shephatiah, the son of Matan, and Gedaliah, the son of Pashur, and Jukal, the son of Shelemiah, and Pashur, the son of Malchijah, heard the words that Jeremiah spoke to all the people, saying, Thus says Yahweh, He who remains in this city shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. But he who goes forth to the Chaldeans shall live, and his life shall be to him for a prey, and he shall live.
So now we're back in present day?
I suppose so. Or maybe not. It is confusing.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe we haven't quite caught up to present day. I'm not sure.
Thus says Yahweh, this city shall surely be given into the hand of the army of the king of Babylon, and he shall take it.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a flashback then. Because in our, quote, present day, we've already been
This has already happened.
It's
Yeah.
all happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So some good narrative structuring.
Very innovative.
Kind of.
Good storytelling. Then the princes said to the king, Let this man, we pray you, be put to death, because he weakens the hands of the men of war who remain in this city, and the hands of all the people in speaking such words to them. For this man doesn't seek the welfare of this people, but the hurt.
Jeez,
okay,
calm
so,
down.
So Jeremiah is saying, if you stay in this city, you're going to die. It's going to suck. Go to the Chaldeans, and then you're going to live. And so the princes are like, this is not helpful. We need people to stay in the city and fight.
Right, this is bad for morale.
And he's just being a real bummer.
Yeah.
Being a real bummer, and also essentially encouraging us to defect to a certain extent.
Well, to surrender, essentially. Yeah.
Or to surrender, yes. Zedekiah the king said, Behold, he is in your hand, for the king is not he who can do anything against you.
Can I read you the Messages version of that?
Yes, please.
King Zedekiah caved in. If you say so, go ahead, handle it your way. You're too much for me.
Whoa. Wait, he said this to Jeremiah?
To the princes.
To the princes who are complaining.
Oh.
I very much have an image of Neil deGrasse Tyson with his whole hands up like, well, okay.
Yeah.
It's on you.
Amazing.
Then took they Jeremiah and cast him into the dungeon of Malchijah, the king's son, that was in the court of the guard. And they let down Jeremiah with cords.
Ooh, that sounds...
Hold on. Okay, more details. In the dungeon, there was no water, but mire, and Jeremiah sank in the mire. So...
Is that like
a
dredge?
swamp?
There was a swamp in the dungeon?
Yeah.
Swamp in the dungeon! Okay.
So the Message just talks about that as mud. So I'm assuming that's what they mean. Like there's no water in the dungeon. It's just like all muddy, and they lower him down into it. So this is like a new basement prison.
Yes, a different one.
One of the prince's house this time instead of the scribe's house.
Cool.
So this is maybe a downgrade, not an upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then he's just like sinking into the mud at the bottom.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of the never-ending story with the horse.
Oh, with Artax. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be as sad for Jeremiah in that case.
Oh, no.
Now,
No.
When Ebed-melech, the Ethiopian, a eunuch who was in the king's house, heard that they had put Jeremiah in the dungeon, the king then sitting in the gate of Benjamin, Ebed-melech went forth out of the king's house and spoke to the king, saying, My lord the king, these men have done evil in all that they have done to Jeremiah the prophet, whom they have cast into the dungeon. And he is likely to die in the place where he is because of the famine, for there is no more bread in the city, because we kept giving this guy all our bread.
Gave it all to him
because he already got all of it, so it's gone now.
Then the king commanded Ebed-melech the Ethiopian, saying, Take from hence 30 men with you, and take up Jeremiah the prophet out of the dungeon before he die.
This king is just...
He's just back and forth.
Anyone requests something, he's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
He's a real yes man, ironically.
He's like, you know what? It's a great idea. Why don't we do that? Yeah.
Real people pleaser, this Zedekiah.
Real... what's the word? Pandering? Just whoever he's talking to, he's like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, do it. Great idea. Best idea I've heard today.
Sure. Yeah.
So Ebed-melech took the men with him and went into the house of the king under the treasury and took their rags and worn out garments and let them down by cords into the dungeon to Jeremiah. Ebed-melech the Ethiopian said to Jeremiah, Put now these rags and worn out garments under your armholes under the cords.
What's an armhole? Like these things? This is an armhole right
It's gotta
here?
be, right?
cool.
Your pits. Your pits.
But like,
is this kind?
Yeah.
He's like putting some, okay, so I'm envisioning he's got to be putting down these ropes and got some loops for him to like put into his armholes. But he's like, here, I gave you some rags for some padding so it doesn't hurt you as much. Right?
What is the meaning of this? Why are we doing this?
Why do we have this level of detail at this point?
I just don't know. I see. They're just giving him stuff so that like he can sweat his armpits into the armhole thing.
I think it's just got to be padding, right? It's just, is this supposed to be showing us how Abimelech is such a nice dude to think about Jeremiah's armholes?
That's nice.
I'm assuming they've like made sort of a harness out of these scraps.
Yes, that's
like,
what I'm envisioning.
That's what I thought. Are they like taking him up by the armpits?
I think so.
And hoisting him out of the dungeon?
Maybe because he's too weak to grab.
To actually like gym class style and climb.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Jeremiah did so. So they drew up Jeremiah with the cords and took him up out of the dungeon, and Jeremiah remained in the court of the guard. Great.
That's nice.
Didn't get to go out. He just wasn't in the pit
doesn't
anymore.
have to be in the mud. Then Zedekiah the king sent and took Jeremiah the prophet to him into the third entry that is in the house of Yahweh.
The third entry.
It's very important that we know that.
And the king said to Jeremiah, I will ask you a thing. Hide nothing from me. Then Jeremiah said to Zedekiah, if I declare it to you, will you not surely put me to death? And if I give you counsel, you will not listen to me. So Zedekiah the king swore secretly to Jeremiah, saying, as Yahweh lives, who made us this soul, I will not put you to death, neither will I give you into the hand of these men who seek your life. All right.
This is the same king who's pandering.
Yeah, this is the same king who was like,
you're right.
Yeah,
just
kill
gives
him.
everyone what they want. Oh, no.
But what if somebody is like, you know what? We really want that guy to die. He's going to be like, well, I guess I gotta.
He promised this time, though, like a pinky sweared. So maybe that's a stronger thing that he won't go back on. But he did it secretly. So
he did
no one
secretly,
knows.
so there's no accountability, really.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he doesn't want people to know that he's being nice to Jeremiah.
Yeah.
He's like doing everything like whisper, whisper boy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then said Jeremiah to Zedekiah, thus says Yahweh, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, if you will go forth to the king of Babylon's princes, then your soul shall live, and this city shall not be burned with fire, and you shall live, and your house. But if you will not go forth to the king of Babylon's princes, then shall this city be given into the hand of the Chaldeans, and they shall burn it with fire, and you shall not escape out of their hand. So it's the same message of, you just got to surrender. You just got to do the thing, and then you're going to live.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Zedekiah the king said to Jeremiah, I am afraid of the Jews who are fallen away to the Chaldeans, lest they deliver me into their hand and they mock me. But Jeremiah said, they shall not deliver you. Obey, I beg you, the voice of Yahweh in that which I speak to you, so it shall be well with you, and your soul shall live. But if you refuse to go forth, this is the word that Yahweh has shown me. Behold, all the women who are left in the king of Judah's house shall be brought forth to the king of Babylon's princes, and those women shall say, your familiar friends have set you on and have prevailed over you. Now that your feet are sunk in the mire, they are turned away back. They shall bring out all your wives and your children to the Chaldeans, and you shall not escape out of their hand, but shall be taken by the hand of the king of Babylon, and you shall cause this city to be burned with fire.
So, like, all the women are going to the other people that are trying to take over?
The women are going to be just really disappointed in you.
Oh, okay.
Got it. As they're being captured by the princes of the Chaldeans. Yeah, they're going to be like so disappointed.
Not cool. Okay.
Then said Zedekiah to Jeremiah, let no man know of these words, and you shall not die. But if the princes hear that I have talked with you, and they come to you and tell you, declare to us now what you have said to the king, don't hide it from us, and we will not put you to death. Also, what the king said to you.
Also that.
Then you shall tell them, I presented my supplication before the king that he would not cause me to return to Jonathan's house to die there. Okay, so the king is like, this is your cover story, is that this is what we talked about. You were begging again to not go back to Jonathan's house.
Right.
That's all. That's all we talked about.
Okay. We hate Jonathan's house.
Then came all the princes to Jeremiah and asked him, and he told them according to all these words that the king had commanded. So they left off speaking with him, for the matter was not perceived. So Jeremiah abode in the court of the guard until the day that Jerusalem was taken.
Okay.
So again, getting even closer to present day.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
What a funny
I wonder
little
why they decided.
bit of intrigue. And
yeah, like why did they decide to do it this way?
Yeah. This weird, like we sort of got to the quote end of the story and now we've done a flashback. But I could see this as a TV show. That's kind of cool, right? You think like, oh, wow, we've led up to a climax, but really, psych, that was just the mid-season finale. And now we do a flashback and give you all this other information that now you're like, oh, so that's actually why the king did this thing later or why that happened.
And then you're like, wait, why am I binging this Netflix series of Jeremiah? How did I even get here?
Because you love Drunk Bible Study and this is their Jeremiah miniseries.
Right, and this is on DBS Plus.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duh.
I keep forgetting.
Obviously. Yeah. All right, we're going to go on to our last chapter of Jeremiah for today and then some Psalms. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break to talk about how you can support this show if it's something that you enjoy. If it's not something you enjoy, then, just like press stop. We're not keeping you here. That's cool. But if this is something you enjoy and you're having a good time with us, we would love your help in growing this show and keeping it going. As far as growing the show, the best thing you can do is just to spread the word. Tell your friends about it. Tell your family. Have listening parties. Bring them to the live shows. Come to the live shows yourself if you're not already here. We would love to have you. It's a ton of fun. You can do that at drunkbiblestudy.com/live is how you can get information about the live shows. And then as far as supporting this show, if you're able, check us out on Patreon. We have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. And if you give us some support there and become a parishioner, then we have some little thank yous for you, like early releases of episodes and personal toasts on the show, as well as access to photos and recipes for all of the amazing drinks that Emily makes.
Woo! And we're back. Jace, I believe it's your turn.
Yes, it is. We're back, and it is time for Jeremiah chapter 39. This one also has a title in the message, which is Bad News, Not Good News.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Eugene. Thank you.
Kind of when you tell me bad news, I pretty much inherently understand that it is not good news. It's not even, you didn't even start with the I got some bad news and got some good news. You just said bad news, so I think I know.
Yes. Yeah, just bad news only.
I do think I know.
Wow.
I also feel like
Jesus.
You could subtitle all of Jeremiah with that.
That's true.
Bad news,
Yeah.
not good news.
Have you heard the bad news of Jeremiah?
Have you heard the not good news, decidedly not good news of Jeremiah?
Yeah, quite.
Okay. It happened when Jerusalem was taken in the 9th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah. In the 10th month came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army against Jerusalem and besieged it.
Are we back now? Are we back to present day? Or are we moving forward quickly and rapidly into present day?
We're to the point where they're taking Jerusalem. So I think almost to present day or roughly close to where we were in present day.
Okay.
Because this would have been still before they burned down Jerusalem, but then somehow Jeremiah was still there. And remember, he wrote that letter to the people who had been captured and taken to Babylon saying hey, just hang out for 70 years and then we'll be cool. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember that.
We love that one.
What threw me off, though, is that it went like this. It goes, it happened when Jerusalem was taken, and then parentheses. In the 9th year of King Zedekiah, in the 10th month came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and all his army against Jerusalem and besieged it, semicolon, still inside parentheses. In the 11th year of Zedekiah, in the 4th month, the 9th day of the month, a breach was made in the city, end parentheses. So just for a little context.
Wow. Okay.
That's what's going on.
That is what's going on.
On to the breach, dear friends.
Yes.
Okay.
It happened when Jerusalem was taken, all that stuff, that all the princes of the king of Babylon came in and sat in the middle gate, to wit, Nergal-Sharezer. These are not Hebrew names. This is a fun change. Nergal-Sharezer, Samgar-Nebo,
Samwise Gamgee.
Yes.
These okay.
Thank you.
I'm definitely not a linguist, but I feel like from reading this book for a long enough period of time now that you do get that sense of like, sounds like some Babylonian names to me.
Exactly. Samgar-Nebo, Sarsishim, Rabsaris,
Very glad you're
Nergal,
reading this.
Nergal-Sharezer, and Rabmag. Rabmag's a
Little
good one.
ragtag team that involves Ragmag.
Ragtime Rabmag.
Yeah.
With all the rest of the princes of the king of Babylon. Who
You don't need to know their names.
Yeah.
We don't need to put you through that. Okay.
It happened that when Zedekiah, the king of Judah, and all the men of war saw them, then they fled and went forth out of the city by night by the way of the king's garden, through the gate between the two walls. And he went out toward the Arabah. But the army of the Chaldeans pursued after them and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. And when they had taken him, they brought him up to Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, to Riblah in the land of Hamath, and he gave judgment on him. Then, it's not going to go good. Then the king of Babylon killed the sons of Zedekiah in Riblah before his eyes.
Jeez.
Also, the king of Babylon killed the nobles of Judah. Moreover, he put out Zedekiah's eyes.
Oh no!
And bound him in fetters
man.
to carry him to Babylon.
Wait a minute. Is the king of Babylon the one that Jeremiah was just like, hey, be cool, man, be cool?
No, this guy who just got his eyes poked out, he's the one who said, you need to go turn yourself in.
Yes.
And he didn't. He tried to run away with the princes. And this is what happened.
Dang.
Same.
Yeah.
He knew.
I feel
He
sad about that
prophesied
because I feel like
correctly.
Zedekiah was clearly such a people pleaser and torn in so
Right.
many different directions.
Didn't matter in the
A
end.
lot of pressure.
Just wanted people to like him, was just trying to keep the peace, and in the end didn't work out because he really couldn't commit anything. He didn't know what his boundaries
Yeah.
were.
He was fearful.
He didn't know what he actually wanted.
Mhm.
Yeah. He let fear guide him.
Yeah. The Chaldeans burned the king's house and the houses of the people with fire.
Jeez.
You know, that thing you burn stuff with. And broke down the walls of Jerusalem. Then Nebuzaradan, that is a great like sci-fi alien name.
Oh, I was thinking Pokemon.
Oh, that's good too. Then Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away captive into Babylon the residue of the people who remained in the city. The deserters also, who fell away to him, and the residue of the people who remained.
What does that mean? The residue?
I think just like everyone left.
The remnants.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My mind went to like you're picking up like the remnants of the dead people and taking them.
Probably not.
No. I think this is just the peoples themselves.
Okay. Got it.
But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, left of the poor of the people who had nothing in the land of Judah and gave them vineyards and fields at the same time.
Oh,
thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Consolation prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, gave charge concerning Jeremiah to Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, saying, take him and look well to him and do him no harm, but do to him even as he shall tell you. Is he like a double agent all along? Is that the twist? The end. So Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, sent, and Nebuchadnezzar, Rabsaris, and Nergal-Sharezer, Rabmag, and all the chief officers of the king of Babylon. They sent and took Jeremiah out of the court of the guard and committed him to Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, that he should carry him home. So he lived among the people.
Huh.
Well, all right.
I think they left him there then. He wanted to go home, maybe to this new property he bought while he was in prison.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad.
And so, no, they took him. They left him.
Wow.
So that's how he ended up staying in Jerusalem, being able to write letters to all the captives in Babylon. Now, the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the guard, saying, go, and speak to Ebed-melech the Ethiopian, oh yeah, the guy that saved him, saying, Thus says Yahweh of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will bring my words on this city for evil and not for good, and they shall be accomplished before you in that day. But I will deliver you in that day, says Yahweh, and you shall not be given into the hand of the men of whom you are afraid. For I will surely save you, and you shall not fall by the sword, but your life shall be for a prey to you, because you have put your trust in me, says Yahweh.
Well, that's nice that Ebed-melech gets a free pass for being so kind and really watching over
helping
Jeremiah's armholes.
Right, taking great
really
care of his
making
armholes.
sure he doesn't get any blisters or abrasions.
Yeah.
I feel like Jeremiah is going through a lot here. He's going through a lot of crap, even though he's in love with God and talking through him.
This is a time of great upheaval and transition and change.
Yeah.
To be fair. This is rough.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Not a fun time to be around in this part of the world, it seems. So, I mean, I will say, we've complained about Jeremiah being a whiny prophet, but also, like, it kind of
good reason.
Didn't draw a long straw. How does that expression go? He drew the short straw in terms of times to be alive and
he
be a
got the
prophet.
fuzzy end of the lollipop.
Yeah. He got
Gross.
a short stick. What do you mean fuzzy end? Ew. Is that like a UK thing? What?
No, it's not. Well, the fuzzy end of the lollipop is as opposed to the sweet end of the lollipop. I think it's pretty obvious.
I see. Okay, cute. Lovely.
Yeah.
All right, shall we move on?
Yes.
To our final moment?
We should.
Of the show.
It is time. I love that these have titles now. But first, let me introduce this segment, which is... And now it's time for Silly Psalms with DBS, the part of the show where DBS comes out and reads some psalms.
Psalm 51. Wait, I don't have a title.
You don't?
What is it?
Oh, it's... Okay, I will read the title. For the chief musician, a psalm by David.
Oh.
When Nathan the prophet came to him after he had gone in to Bathsheba.
Oh, boy.
That's straight up.
So,
wait.
So Nathan the prophet comes to him right after he had sex with Bathsheba.
Yeah, I was like gone.
Yeah, yes, literally in.
Yep.
Right up in.
Yep.
It's like it says on the tin.
Yeah.
All up in there, yes. Yeah, this is when Nathan confronts him to be like, I know what you did. You jerk.
Yeah. I know you. Yeah, I know what you did.
And David decided to write a psalm about it.
Yeah.
And David is like, God, don't be angry. Okay, here we go. Have mercy on me, God, according to your loving kindness. According to the multitude of your tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity. Cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions. My sin is constantly before me. Against you and only you have I sinned. Not really.
Well,
and
also her husband and maybe
her also maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And done that which is evil in your sight, that you may be proved right when you speak and justified when you judge. Behold, I was brought forth in iniquity. In sin did my mother conceive me. Oh, really?
Didn't remember that part of the story.
Well, I guess that's interpretation, right? Doesn't mean... I think this just refers to some originals.
Just because, like, sex is sin?
Either that sex is sin, or just kind of original sin.
Okay.
Which is a
maybe that
super popular Christian concept that,
I'm human, so I'm flawed.
Yeah, I'm human. So come on, God, I'm human.
Behold, you desire truth in the inward parts. You teach me wisdom in the inmost place.
Oh, boy.
Inmost?
Oh,
Yep.
Purify me with your hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash
Isn't that
me.
A flower?
I don't know.
It's a plant, yes.
It's a weed.
Yeah.
It's a ritual plant. Yeah, we've looked at hyssop before. It's an important plant in ritual.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness, that the bones which you have broken may rejoice. What?
I think he's just speaking very metaphorically and hyperbolically about everything right now.
Okay.
So overcome with guilt and shame.
Oh, he is. Hide your face from my sins and blot out all of my iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God. Renew a right spirit within me. Don't throw me from your presence.
Those lines I've sung many times. In various...
Yes, I've sung them many times. We will do that in the bonus.
Yeah.
Great. Don't throw me from your presence, and don't take your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation. Uphold me with a willing spirit. Then I will teach transgressors your ways. Sinners shall be converted to you. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O God. Blood guiltiness, O God. The God of my salvation. My tongue shall sing aloud of your righteousness. Lord, open my lips. My mouth shall declare your praise. For you don't delight in sacrifice, or else I would give it. You have no pleasure in burnt offering. Yeah, we know. The sacrifices of God.
But at this time, was that true? I thought this came along much later when Yahweh was like, I'm bored of sacrifice.
He knows that it's going to happen. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart, O God, you will not despise. Do well in your good pleasure to Zion. Build the walls of Jerusalem. Then will you delight in the sacrifices of righteousness, in burnt offerings, and in whole burnt offerings. They will offer bulls on your altar.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Cool. Good song,
Great.
David.
Great.
Good.
And I guess that song was so good that God was like, okay, David, I won't actually punish you. I'll just punish your son. Or maybe your son's son. And that's how we'll square this. Because you're my favorite boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Another psalm, Psalm 52, for the chief musician, a contemplation by David when Doge, the Edomite, came and told Saul, David has come to Ahimelech's house. It's been a while.
Did you just say the word
Doge?
Doge?
D-O-E-G.
Yeah. You remember Doge?
Yes, Doge.
Yeah, Doge was a friend.
You have a Doge.
A pal. I do have a Doge. This is a different Doge.
But he was a recurring character back in, what was it? Kings?
Yes.
Samuel?
Yeah.
Kings.
Something.
Okay. This is a little shorty. Why do you boast of mischief, mighty man? God's loving kindness endures continually. Your tongue plots destruction like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. You love evil more than good, lying rather than speaking the truth. Selah. You love all devouring words, you deceitful tongue. God will likewise destroy you forever. He will take you up and pluck you out of your tent and root you out of the land of the living. Selah. The righteous also will see it and fear and laugh at him, saying, Behold, this is the man who didn't make God his strength, and trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. But as for me, I am like a green olive tree in God's house. I trust in God's loving kindness forever and ever. I will give thanks forever because you have done it. I will hope in your name, for it is good, in the presence of your saints.
Wow.
Doge?
That was very different tonally than we've ever gotten from David. This is like kind of a SmackDown
Wait, that
psalm.
was David?
Yeah, it was
Yes,
a SmackDown psalm for
SmackDown
sure.
of Doge.
Okay.
Of
Got
Doge
it.
specifically,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I love these two psalms actually, because I just think they go so against the vision that we're given of David writing these psalms for God, right? Which are all these like pretty little, oh God, you're so merciful and wonderful and lovely. And it's like,
love me.
okay, this first one's about like a repentance song about how shitty he was and like trying to make good. And then the second one is just like,
I hate this guy.
just a total SmackDown song. Yeah, this guy sucks.
Maybe this is his diary that we're reading.
It very much has that feeling, right? I think we've commented on that before, that it's very much, are you there, God? It's me, David.
Right.
Maybe he's a budding poet or a budding songwriter. And so this is just the mood that he's in for that day. He's like, I'm going to write a SmackDown song for this guy. And I also feel bad because I had sex with a woman who was married. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Amazing. Wow. What a ride today, as always.
Indeed. As always. Yeah. Quite.
Okay. I guess I'm going to bring us home then.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including early releases, cocktail recipes, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group. You can find us on Twitter at Drunk Biblecast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jace Lindgren, Emily Matlack, and me, Dedeker Winston. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book club. Whoa. He's got a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional